Oh boy. Here we go. Yes, we are going to search for the wisdom within the madness. My name's Darren Bodecker. And on today's journey, Mike Holmes, stand-up comic, living out of LA. Haven't seen him in years. Another one that I've not seen in well over 15 years. But we had some times. Me and Mike Holmes, we went on a canoe trip, and I helped him out. I helped him out right at the end there. We'll talk about it. So look at you. So I was saying, oh my God, wait, different background.
Yeah, this is I moved over to my wife's at-home office.
Oh,
so it's like 6 feet to the right of where I was sitting previously.
That's good. For just a brief second, my mind thought, wow, he wanted to rearrange the room. So I don't clip that
I saw how
the
those posters
bloopers
were
in.
looking on camera. I thought not a good look.
Yeah.
I didn't know that much about Johnny Cash. It turned out, I didn't even know when he was popular.
Yeah.
Yet I've got 2 framed posters on my wall of him.
Yeah.
He's got that
I was about to go in depth.
That Walk the Line song. That was good.
Yep. Ring of Fire. Remember that one?
Yeah. I mean,
A Burning
huge
Ring
Reese
of
Witherspoon
Fire.
fan, so.
Now, although you don't know much about him, you do know about that Ring of Fire song, right?
No, I mean, I know that they finally sold
Burns,
out to
burns,
Corporation
burns.
H.
It goes burns, 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 in a golden ring of fire. Down, down, down. Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's
That
talking
reminds
about...
me, Mike Burns, when he used to live in Chicago, I think he worked for like Steve Dahl or someone like that as an intern.
Okay.
And Steve Dahl wrote a parody song for Mike Burns to have his resume.
Really?
But it was Mike Burns, Burns, Burns. He's for hire.
Oh, that's great. Right?
So I always think of that.
You need a gimmick, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is your gimmick? What's your
My gimmick?
Yeah, what
I
is... If
don't have one. That's why I'm unemployed.
you go up on stage, but do you know yourself on stage at this point, though?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
You know your character, you know your direction, you know your point of view. You're very comfortable in your shoes when you get up there, whether there's 5 people or 1,000 people.
Yeah.
You know your material.
I don't know if it's a character, but I know my voice. I know I'm comfortable in my own shoes, like you said. Like, I can definitely.
So do you write? How do you write? Do you notebook kind of thing, or you just remember and riff?
Notebook for sure. I mean, now it's laptop, and
So do you write every day? Do you observe something every day?
No, not like I used to, for sure. Now I mostly now it's just when stuff comes to me, then
Really?
if I'm like, oh, that's a joke, then I'll sit down and I'll write that out as a joke. Otherwise, like often it's just like a thought that turns into a tweet, and that's it.
Do you sit down to specifically carve a little bit of time out of your day to specifically write at least once a day just to stay real well-oiled?
No, I don't. I used to, but I don't. I don't know if that's because Twitter's made me lazy like that I
Right.
feel like I can just just post a little thing on social media, and that's the writing exercise for me. Just to test out the waters. If it gets feedback, then I know I have something I might be able to flesh out
Okay.
further as a joke.
Well, in the beginning, when you started, what were you looking like? How were you looking at the world when you very first were like, I'm going to start writing comedy? All right, we're going out on a, let's find the funny.
Well, I mean, I've always written about the things that are around me. I would say a lot of my initial writing was just like pop culture stuff and TV shows and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. You know the
Like,
problem with that stuff, right?
Mm-hmm. It has a very short shelf life.
What I want to always try and find is, as a comic, you want to, me personally, even with doing these things, I want to make a majority of it very evergreen.
Mm-hmm.
Come back anytime and like, oh, cool. And we're not like talking, well, you remember when the debate and then he said that one thing? And yeah, right. And Biden, he didn't what?
And now here's 4 minutes of me talking about the thing that you probably don't even remember anymore.
Yeah, and then they're like, oh, yeah, there was a first debate. I remember, yes.
See,
it was before the Great War.
That's where Twitter has kind of taken that material out of my act, because like I'll just post it on Twitter and then it's done. Like, that's kind of how it should be. You don't want to keep talking about an episode of some TV show that you saw 3 years ago.
Yeah, that's a good. You said a very smart thing there. Yes. It's a skill. It's a comedy skill, and it's a muscle that you need to exercise. You just need to find the right platform for that, and Twitter just happens to be that platform. Mm-hmm. Because it's almost too in the now. You better be now, or else 10 minutes from now there'll be another thing that's way more now than that now.
Right, for sure. Or, and the way Twitter works, unless you put it out there right away, chances are in 10 minutes someone else will put something so similar.
Right.
It's like, well, that's half my joke right there. Why bother?
Yes.
So
You're like putting information into a blinking eye, and you're just hoping that your information is in the upswing of the open eye, and you see it long enough before you blink again, because there's a lot of part where the people are just.
Totally.
I mean, think about it. Right now, where we are in America, I'm in Chicago. It's about noon. You're in L.A. It's like 10:30, 10 o'clock, whatever. The internet must be flying, dude. It must be like if you could look at it with some special lenses and you would see it, like it would be like a nuclear reactor kind of whoa. Like shit is hot right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's fascinating.
Yeah. People are working from home. Their kids are teaching little 1-year-olds or touchscreen.
Oh, yeah. I didn't factor all that in. It's
Man,
crazy.
I was thinking if Skynet's gonna make its move, it needs to be doing it now.
Right. Or it already. Maybe this is its move.
I don't know, because here's what I think. I think that Skynet was lazy, and they just don't have their shit built. They have no Terminators really built and ready to go yet. And they were like expecting like 2050 to be the year. That's when we're going when the white is the minority suddenly on that year. And then they were like, also they'll know when all the water has risen to the 20 to 5 more 25 feet. Then we're in the move, and then they fucked up, dude. They're probably going, oh shit. We didn't expect what's happening right now. What? Who'd have thunk?
They have all these shitty robots built.
They were so smart, they didn't even calculate Trump into the end of the time when they should be making their move.
They've got Roombas. They're
somebody else's. I'm telling you, if there's aliens watching the planet, or at least wanting to invade, now's the time. It's a good time.
Oh yeah. We've never been more invadable.
Oh man.
If we weren't armed to the T, that's the only thing saving us.
It would actually an invasion would probably save us, because at least we could have some focus.
Sure.
And everybody could go, okay.
That's like the Watchmen giant octopus thing.
Yep.
Have you read the Watchmen?
Yes, I know of the comic.
Yeah.
Yes, I've read, and also the show and the TV show and the movie.
Yeah, I think that's the whole premise, is he creates a monster to unite the world, because otherwise the world
right. It's a classic. I mean, it's true.
Yeah. I mean, there was like 2 weeks after 9/11 where that seemed like maybe America was coming together.
Oh.
And then, I remember that.
Right.
There was like 2 weeks, it seemed like, and then all of a sudden we just turned to hating Muslims. Instead of loving each other, it just turned outward to.
But I will say the president put as much brakes on that as he could at the time. Like Bush did a good thing by really going, let's really differentiate. Let's come on, don't get to our most base animal selves now.
No, yeah, he, had Trump been around for that, that would have been nuclear war, probably.
Right. I think that what Trump is really playing with, what his great superpower is, how through evolution they say our brains have evolved and evolved and evolved and evolved and evolved, but one of the main things where we were a majority of our life was the basic hunter-gatherer, kind of evolved into that animal thing that could be eaten or won't be eaten. And that's where that fight or flight or freeze thing happens. And he has directly tapped into that in everybody across the board. So if you love him, you are tapped into all the fear and things he says. If you hate him, you are tapped into the fear of what this guy's going to do and say and who's going to follow and all that. And you're playing with two basically, yeah,
of the same emotion.
Yes. And that's where civil war happens. Because you've basically go, I cannot even understand what they're thinking. They're alien brains. They're not humans, people like me. They're not. They're evolved differently.
Right.
This is the great devolving where we split. So all of a sudden the mole people are going to be happening and the above the earth, and then they're going to ring their bell and they're going to walk in there stupidly because, hey, man, they're people too. And we go down there and get eaten by them. But this is the split right now.
Fun times.
And shit, man, that's so like me and you, the only thing you can do about that, honestly, is you have to look inward and go, and you have to kind of put up some kind of an armor against like all the outrage that you would see on Facebook or Twitter or things, just because you have to dive in to do your work, so to speak. But you still soaking up all this negative, crazy, bad, the most base, because it's playing with that part of the brain. That part of the brain goes, fuck you, and I'll kill you, and fuck everything, and I don't care anymore. And so it yells, and
builds up.
And then the other side's go, why? It's not possible. Oh my God, what are we gonna do? It's like an encroaching fire for one side. Oh, hey, God. And for the other side, it's just a pack of babies ready to be eaten by wolves. And we're wolves, so let's eat some babies,
Yeah, that's exactly what's happening.
Because just to put a taste on this, the one side is working on... They're also projecting. He's made a way for somehow people to project. Trump has the way he's separated, and he's just getting it ripped. And they're separating into... Jeez, I'm having a mind block. I'm sorry. It was everything, it gets so damn scary. Then all of a sudden a hurricane and a rising water, and the military step in. I'm sorry. Yeah, we're going a little deep, but
that's fine.
So for you, all right. So I wanted to ask you one question, just to jump on kind of on this tip. Right now, bringing up the word fear, and we don't have to go that far as to say fear, like we're stuck, but a worry, a kind of a worry. What is a worry that's going through you right now? So I'll give you an example. Like, I'm worried that, I'm worried about fucking money. So I don't have a job right now, so I'm worried about those things.
Sure.
And then, yeah, so, and it taps into the fear of like, oh, you could get really put out of your comfort zone.
Mm-hmm. No, I worry about that. I'm working right now, but I'm only working part-time, and I'm working at a bar. Like, I also some copywriting, but I'm mostly working at a bar that could close in 2 months.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's been a great gig for like the last 3 or 4 years. Just I get to work 3 nights a week and pretty much, make a living off that. And that's totally changed. That's gone away.
Whoa.
I fear that. I fear what if that does go away, what am I going to do? Because, I do some copywriting, but it's not, A, it's not enough to live off, and B, it's not my favorite thing to do. Like, that's another thing you're talking earlier about my writing. I've been copywriting probably for the last almost 10 years now. And I would say soon after I started doing that, that really started to affect how I would write on my own, because it turned it into a job. And so I would go to work for 8 hours and copyright, and then I don't want to come home and keep writing. And then and then it turned, it even it spoiled the writing experience for me in a lot of ways, just because it makes it seem like work instead of like something fun that I was doing.
Well, that writing area of your brain is a certain area. And so then you're now kind of stabbing it with negative, you're poisoning the water, so to speak, in that area of your mind.
Totally.
And yeah, that was a bad job. But you got to live, right? Hey, we got to make money.
No, yeah.
We're living in a capitalist society. We can't be fools. But
no, for sure. And I know, and I need to keep. I'll keep doing it, but like, it is just, it's interesting how it turns something that was fun into something that becomes.
So, in a way, the copywriting job kind of turned your comedy career askew a little bit, right? So if it was on this path, it went like this, and then because to have the comedy career, it is really all things that you should be. If you're really gonna be fucking good, right? Every day you're thinking comedy. Every day you're writing something down, because you can't remember everything exactly. Don't try and remember it later and then go, shit, I forgot everything.
Right. It's gone.
And but you also, you have to definitely move through society like a ninja, but you have to also keep your mind on comedy at all times, kind of.
No, I found that's another thing. I was talking to Bridenstine about this, and I don't know when I lost it, but there used to be a point in my comedy career, and I want to say it's the first 5 years. And I guess it's comes with the benefit of being in your 20s and really not having shit to worry about. But that's all I thought about. Constant, when my mind would wander, it would wander to my jokes. And I would, just keep playing around with, no joke was ever finished. I was always thinking about it. I was always or I was always looking at everything else. How is this a joke? How is that a joke? How can I make this a joke? How can I tie that into this joke? And then I don't know when the switch flipped, but it's gone from that's all I think about to being oh, that could be a joke. Right. Whereas I don't know. I just think it's just the worries of getting older and bills and, family stuff, and your parents are aging and
oh shit.
And all of life's problems start to weigh down on your brain weight, how much, you have to think about this. And it just gets smaller and smaller as I got older.
Yeah, and it really starts with or at least for me, with the realization that I'm gonna die. That's gonna be it. That's all there is. That's nothing, really just soaking it in. When that happens, then everything like an avalanche falls behind that. Yeah, and here's also what's gonna happen before you die: cancer and this and that.
Right. Losing loved ones and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another thing I think slowed it down. I felt like when I was younger, I thought that I could write my way to the top. I thought if I wrote more than everybody, I would have this giant volume of jokes, and then I could pick this chunk, and I've written so much that it's and then LA kind of made me realize that that's not even half the battle, really,
It's more about self-promotion, isn't it?
It's, it's LA. There's does in fact, it's self-promotion. Twitter.
We're cutting out just a little bit. Of it's an internet burp. Okay. No worries. We were doing good, though. We were doing good. We're in and out. Maybe it's just a solar flare. Maybe an EMP has gone off somewhere and kind of disturbed the force. It's got to be it. Right? Yeah, that's all right. Well, anyways. Mike Holmes. Wow. All right, so I'm going to give you advice that you aren't hearing. Oh, shit, he's gone. Oh, he's back. I can't now. Oh, good, I got you.
All right, we're back.
You did it. Look at you. Wow. So there is a truth to what you said about writing that much and then being able to pick out stuff. There's a big truth to, like, if you, I mean, come on, the god of it basically Seinfeld, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a truth in that way. There's a truth in also, well, there's other comics who can be Robin Williams-esque and just whatever's happening, just go and just fly. And then there's all kinds of different flavors, but so I'm just processing this. So when you got going out of that and then you're coming in and then life is fucking hitting you in the nuts and you're doing stuff, do you have a vision of where you want to be, a goal, or is everything kind of cloudy now?
Everything's very cloudy now. I'm feeling very much kind of like I know I will always do stand-up comedy.
Mm-hmm.
I'll never stop performing,
right.
But I don't know, either have the vision or the drive or whatever it is to, like, I mean, I'm 41. I can't see, I don't know. I'm not the new kid on the block anymore.
Right.
And in LA, that's like, you're kind of like,
right.
I was the flavor of the month for 6 months, and that was 10 years ago.
Wow.
Like, and it's not that you can't, there's someone, Kinane was here for 8 or 10 years before he blew up. So it's not like it's impossible, but it really helps if you're Kyle Kinane,
Right.
And that's a generational comedian. Like, it's, I don't know. I don't know. I'm kind of in a little weird place right now where I'm doing several things, all of which I like, but none of which I'm sure I'll be doing forever.
Okay, so here's the big deal. Do you meditate?
No, I don't. I should. I definitely should, probably, because...
Well, the other side that I said that, this time right now, this weird time, the new normal time, whatever the people say it is, and how fast it seems to be moving, but also slow at the same time because you ain't getting shit done or whatever. This is the time to phoenix out of this bitch and utilize your talents in that. In other words, the Twitter, quick things. Then you got to figure out what can I also do and how can I, I got a wife, you got to make money, you got rent and things. So that's that kind of, where can I find that balance in my talent and that I want? And then I think now's the time for like applying for jobs or things that might could use somebody like you in some department of something. Mm-hmm. Because everybody wants creativity and there's a lot of rich internet dudes and like you could write for sure. There could be that. So that outlet, give you an outlet
for
of
sure.
Things. But also you got to figure out what kind of job can I get that makes me money in the interim while I'm trying to do this. And like this thing right now I'm trying to parlay this into something in the future. I'm just putting out a year's worth of content and then say, is it worthy? Come on, join, and then give me a tip and see if I can make money out of this. But that's I'm just in the midst of baby stepping it.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you can harness the self-discipline, because it takes a big fucking dose of self-discipline, but you only have to take a 5-minute dose of that in one day, and then be fucking honest with yourself. So you give yourself some honest serum, big dose of your mind clearing itself first. You want to try and clear it, and then focus on a thing, focus on an idea or two ideas at once, and get rid of all the forest of the things that are said and seen. And oh my God, I'm on YouTube for 4 hours, and it seems, oh shit, days are just flying. What the hell?
Right.
And worrying about yourself and about being not productive. I mean, but it takes a hella dose of discipline, but all you need is like 5 minutes in a day. And then that can lead to the discipline of all I need is 30 minutes in a day to work out every day. And then the self-discipline enough to go, I need to get to bed and wake up and have at least this 7 hours or whatever of time. And the self-discipline enough to go, I shouldn't be having sugar. And then the self-discipline enough to go, I can eat, even though this food's bland, I can have vegetables for every meal, and I will get rid of sugar and eat an apple instead. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is that time to become.
Yeah. No, and it's easy to become undisciplined in this time, I think. I feel like I have become more undisciplined just because just locked in, nowhere to go.
Right. So it's all about meditating and making a plan. So you almost have to, at night, visualize your next day. Go, all right, I'm waking up, I'm doing this thing. But you have to kind of do the day, meditate in and jot in those notes. Here's what the plan that I'm going to make, to carve out some time to meditate on things that, and then use that time to do whatever the meditation has told me to do. So you got to be flexible and discipline, and then also be able to, once again, like a ninja, go into the now, make your wife happy, enjoy time together, be really connected, let her in on some things and plans and some fears even, and be really honest with each other and really coordinate, make sure, you know, your bank accounts are like everything, bills, and here's what the plan kind of is, and I'd like to, you know, if they can get help, or if they just can say, honey, get out of the way when I do this, you know. It's one or the other, but it's that ultimate communication, and it's because you do have a foundation. You've got somebody with you in this crazy time, and that's key. People need like life coaches and everybody who can help in a different way that you ever had in that relationship before. So now all of a sudden you're like, hey, help me build a website, which I'm engaging my wife in. Like I'm having a bitch. So I was like, fuck it. She loves math. Put this together for me better. So, but it's things like that. It's like, this is that time to do that thing. Because you're preparing. I mean, so far even as to like, we should be writing a will. Let's write a will and let's figure out all those things so that we're just kind of, we have, but you know what I'm saying? It's, a will is kind of a thing like I'm going to be real and I'm going to be true, and I'm not going to let this fear of this thing run me into other mental directions. Like I confront it when it needs to be confronted, and I'm prepared for it when it happens. So this is that time to phoenix those things, to build a new human being. I'm not necessarily you have to do it, but I'm just saying anybody would.
No, I mean, there's two ways to go out of this, you know. You let it ruin you, or you come out of it better on the other end.
Right. Because people are really talking about a civil war, and whenever you say the word war, and then it's not going to be civil at all.
No.
It's going to be more of the chaos. So the more you're prepared,
it's going to be less civil than the last one.
The more you're prepared as a human being out from within, then you can deal from the without a lot better and put it in its place, or just do what needs to be done at the time, but make sure that you and your wife have a roof over your head and all that shit.
Keep your house in order and don't worry if the neighborhood's burning around you.
Right. That's a tough call in this tide, because right now the water is rushing. The malaise, the routine of like just days passing by and forgetting and just hitting you and like, and now it's just a series of, I don't know, doctor's visits that keeps you even interested in a calendar. It's so hard to fight against that, but you got to almost like you got to root yourself to the sand and then go da, 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 and then move forward through it and cut it and be able to go against what this thing is, because so many people are going with the rush and they're fucking doing way hard drugs. Suicide is up like a motherfucker. People doing suicidal things is up like a motherfucker. People getting so base in their brain that they would see other human beings as a completely different species. Like that shit. That's so far from where we want to be, right? You want to be grounded, then your wife, and then where you live, and then what you want to, how do you want to protect all that with, but also keeping yourself sane and happy. It's tough, dude.
Yeah, it is. I mean, from the moment you get up, I have way too bad habits of, getting up, looking at Twitter, turning on CNN, like
it's goddamn tough, dude.
30 minutes into my day, I'm raging.
What's your favorite music?
That's another
What's your
problem.
favorite type of music or anything? What's a favorite album you have ever heard or any kind of sound?
Old Kanye I love. I mean, I love old Outkast. I like old rap.
Get something that
Dre the Chronic.
Get an album you've heard many times.
Doggy Style.
And you just kind of cleanse your mental palate. So you put it on and then you work out, or you think of things with the music because you're used to the music, so you know it. You don't have to concentrate on it. You can just focus on what. So in other words, it's clearing out all those voices in your head that are, hey man, what do we do? Oh man, this sucks. Oh, you're never gonna make it, man. Oh, what happens? We need money, man. And so you gotta kind of clear it out. And music or something that you're familiar with, if you can just, your brain will go, okay, the voices will get distracted over there, and you can use it to focus on.
That's smart.
A thing, okay. But you have to do something. Yeah, you'd like have to use it as workout. So like if, all right, I'm going to do 30-minute album, whatever, 10 songs, boom, I'm going top to bottom workout. And that way you can find a joy in the activity, even though it's, your dopamine brain wants to fucking know what's going on because it was the fucking debate last night. And oh, did you hear when he said? And then the other guy, and then he was like, "Shut!" And then he was like, "You clown!" And then he was like, "No way! You should call the president a clown, dude." But yeah, if you can, I'm on the move. I got a goal, like Schwarzenegger. He had a goal of being Mr. Universe. You just got to figure out your new goal. That's what the meditation's for, to find it. Like, whew, there it is. Okay, this is the goal, or these are the goals, or this is the way I want to point. Whatever that is. But
excellent.
I don't know.
Okay.
Here's what I don't know.
Okay.
How do you get that hardcore dose of 5 minutes of discipline every single day to just at least meditate? That's the thing.
I mean, I think I got to make it my first thing I do in the morning, right? Like
that does help because it does give you a foundation. If you do something really good right out the gate, at least you can make your mind smile, so to speak, towards the other things you do. And at least if you did nothing else all day, you did the thing. And then you meditate about the thing that you didn't do yesterday the next day, and you figure that shit out.
Right. I meditate now.
Yeah. You
sold me.
But it just, I guess what it takes is enough. You have to have a lot of self-honesty, and you also have to be willing to look at it and just objectively take it apart. Like I said, with the, a will, you know what I mean? That's really looking at something. And the next level after that is actually literally buying a plot and then here's how I want it to read so far, whatever. If you want to get ultimate with that shit. But
Yeah.
that's pretty progressive.
I might wait a year or two
for a
for
40-year-old. Oh, wait, that's like 70-year-old people thinking. Hell, I'm 55. I'm like, what am I talking about? I ain't got no fucking will.
Slow down.
I'm surely talking the talk and not walking the walk with this one. I think I'm talking to myself, actually, when I say these things to you. Jeez, I should be writing this down.
That's healthy, too. We both need to hear it.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's just make one move. I think where everything is, all that happened, it's all right up here anyways. So then why not make the move to be able to have more control of it a little bit, right? Mm-hmm. So you can watch YouTube videos or have a guide, have like a, like waking up. That would be the one. Sam Harris?
I think so.
Well, he's a guy who's modern day philosophy or whatever, and he does meditation. And he has it's a pay for meditation, but if you email him, you'll get it for free. Just say, I can't afford it. Could I get it? And they give you a subscription for a year for free. And it starts out slow, and it's all about kind of clearing the path in your brain and kind of pointing your mental thoughts in different directions that you hadn't done before. Maybe like looking through an old house and you going up to the attic where you haven't explored in the last 10 years.
Okay. Sam Harris?
Yeah, Sam Harris. I'll text you that, and so as you do it, maybe I'll do it. How about that? Why don't we be
deal?
Partners, and we won't put any hard rules on each other, but just like week to week, maybe like this week I was able to do it 5 times or 3 times or whatever, just as a little bit of an accountability.
Okay.
Does that sound cool?
That sounds great.
Sorry I talked you into this stuff, man, but yeah.
I need it. I need help.
I will I'll sign up for it. Why don't we make this plan? After this, just send him an email. So find out his website, samharris.com or whatever. Okay. Or I'll link it to you. And then just send that email, and then we'll text back and see if he sent us something free or not. How about that?
Sweet.
That'll be the start. Deal. That'll be a sign. If he doesn't send it back free, then we're like, fuck that whole thing.
This guy.
Yeah. All right. Screw it. I'll just carry on like it was before and let life happen. It's too hard to fight against. Nobody is expecting this shit. Nobody. When you thought Trump was bad at the beginning, you couldn't have imagined 200,000 people. You're going to go, this guy's going to kill 200,000 people. No, maybe not all 200,000. Maybe it would have been 80,000 at most, but Hillary Clinton she'd be at least 120,000 less people.
Less deaths on her hands.
If they could have looked in the future and then when they're doing in 26, I will have saved more than 300,000 people while he will have killed all Americans. Right. Nobody will believe you. Nobody will believe. He's not that bad. No, seriously. All over
I remember
masks.
The first week or so after he got inaugurated, I was like, okay, he can't cause that much harm. And then it started, and it's just been one thing after another.
It's wild. It's just fucking comic book, super villain, wild. Yeah,
I mean, that's the thing about him, like you can't, as a stand-up, you can't make jokes about him because we were talking about things with shelf life. There's nothing that has a shorter shelf life than a Donald Trump fuck up. Like, there's going to be one tomorrow. There's going to be 3 more the rest of the week. And you write a joke about it, and you do it on stage a week later. People are like, "What are you talking about?"
Exactly.
Talking about a thing that happened last week.
So the thing that would be evergreen with Trump is if you talked about the psychology of it, the fuck-uppedness of, and then you know, apply it to like, what would I be like if I did such a thing, you know what I mean? Or a thing. But my theory is this. Now, I'm not a QAnon person, and I'm, if they're listening, check this out. I don't believe in God. I'm preface. I don't believe. I've never really. I kind of once, but then no. But if ever there was going to be the Antichrist being sent to the most powerful nation with the biggest military and most influence throughout the planet and all that stuff, with the riches of resource and just top of its game financially, fucking Antichrist comes in, and then to help him out, I'm going to send in a plague. To help him out, I'm going to send in racial animus, crazy. To help him out, I'm going to start burning shit up. I'm going to start, people are going to be hot when it should be cold and cold when it should be hot. Dude.
Yeah.
And then also, if I was also the devil, I would have worked for decades to make a propaganda station to get people's most animal instincts, the fear, and then have beautiful women there, the sex, the fear and the sex, getting right in there to the center of brain, and then slip in that how libtards and bad people and just like slip it in. They're stealing from you. They're laughing at you. Look at the Daily Show. Do you ever see you up there? They're laughing at you for years, and it's popular. You know, and then all the money's in New York, and they're all smarter than you. So they're hearing this propaganda coming in at them, and then they're just outwardly, and then it's turned into like a big hate of weakness is what it was, what it is. They just fucking hate weakness, and it's weak to compromise, weak to say I'm sorry, weak to lose. You guys lose, you're losers.
Snowflakes.
And so it's all weak. You don't have guns? Well, that's weak. I have a gun. You know? And that's why every time you talk about Trump, like, why don't they see his taxes? And don't they see? And he grabbed a pussy, you know, or at least he talked about it. It's about that guy up there shuts news reporters down, shuts other Congress people down, shuts
elitists down.
Everybody down, and he yells for me. He yells, fuck you for making fun of me on the Daily Show for over a decade. Fuck you for not, you know, paying attention. Fuck you. And then their jobs are all gone because, you know, jobs are cheap. We're in Taiwan and shit. God dang. Ford, let's get out of here. Let's make these American cars in fucking Japan. No, that's would be a bad place actually. China. But but the propaganda, and it started with your ears. It starts with the radio. Some guy talking every day for like 3 hours in a real commanding, convincing voice.
No, I did start with the radio.
Yeah,
Definitely.
for years, for 40 fucking years plus. And then the TV, and now it's spread out into the internet. Now it's in the deepest, darkest places, and it has the most craziest thoughts and ideas of where I'd be so out here just enough to run to a pizza parlor 500 miles away and shoot the ceiling and demand to see the pedophile rape dungeon with Hillary Clinton getting her cunt licked. I know what's happening. Yeah, shit's fucked up.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's everything you just said. It's been so long. It's been happening. Like, it's come to this point. Like, to de-escalate, it just seems almost impossible. Like, how do we go back from all that?
Fuck, dude. The only salvation is getting back to what I was saying is like us, then your family, and where you're at. So you got to consider sometimes gonna have to move. So I'm gonna have to really meditate on that motherfucking shit because I love it here, or whatever,
Right?
Or things like that. But the beauty of it is that is no matter what your age, if you can think your way out of it, if there's any place you can do it, it's in the United States of America. If you can think your way out or into whatever you need to best, just the goal is just to be content and more joy than despair, right? 51% joy in your life. So you gotta.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't need everything to be perfect. I don't. I know. I know it won't
not.
be.
Yeah, it can't be. There's no such thing.
There's always going to be something. But like you said, if the majority of how you're thinking, how you're living, how you're feeling is towards the positive side, then you're successsuul.
You got to take the driver's seat back because the driver's seat has been slowly slipping away from you every time you look at a YouTube thing or a Facebook or a video comes in. I can't believe they think this.
Right.
What? How could? And the wild thing is with the way the propaganda works, those people have no clue there's another world out there, just as the other world has no clues to what is being fed and seen at all times. Going to work here in the radio, coming back home here in the radio, looking at TV, and it's, whoa, look at that Tucker go. It's that's the world. So if that's the world, how is it going to get in there that, there's two sides to a story? How would that seep in? There's only one side, and that's our side.
Right.
There's no two sides. What, two? That isn't even a number.
We're number one.
That's right. Only number one. That's it. That's the top guy's motto. He has to win at all costs. So we're coming up to the scariest time right now, which is this thing. And being a guy of history, I like history. I taught history for 10 years, and I really try and think of what is the history of now? How is the history going to shake out in what ways? And I do see a civil war. Either it's like a civil Cold War or it's a civil lukewarm weird war. But
I think
some
we're
kind
in the
of
civil
thing.
court. I think we're in the Cold War part right now.
Yeah, something's really happening.
We're already, with, like the shooting in Wisconsin, like that's turning into a lukewarm war.
Right.
That's citizens walking around with AR-15s.
You're
shooting other
right.
citizens.
The perfect time for Skynet to activate is on November 4th.
Yeah.
We're going to be so distracted. But people are like, what, robots are killing people? Yeah, whatever, dude. But Trump, wait a minute, he's going to take the presidency. No, there's robots killing. They've killed my girl. Oh, who cares? COVID, whatever. Trump's about to kill. Look, I'm going to watch TV, shooting somebody on Fifth Avenue right now. You're like, wait, all the robots. So what? As long as TV's here, let the robots do what they want.
There's a new season of Fargo.
Oh my God. Yeah, there is. There is actually. You should watch that.
There is. I have watched one episode. It's great.
Good, man. Oh yes, I will start doing that. I'm a huge The Boys fan.
WEB?
The Boys?
Oh, The Boys.
Yeah, WEB.
Boys.
It's a spin-off. It's where one of the boys is...
I was like, did I not catch that part of the first episode?
Right. No, Yep, he comes back in time and he's a soup.
Right. I was like, wow, he knows the backstory about this episode that I do not.
He's all about the 5%. He wants to change the name of the club to 5%.
I gotta rewatch that episode.
Yeah, right. It's all black cast. It's reimagined, just like they did with Friends. Everything's Homelander's black. Everybody's black in it. It's the new version. The Real Boys. It's with a Z at the end.
Okay.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
that'll be
I haven't
coming in
watched that.
15 years, I'm sure, if we're still around. 15 years, that'll be the big change where we're going to change. So remember how they, back at the beginning, like in the 70s, 80s or something, there was black and white film, and they were colorizing it. And at first it was real shitty, and they'd be colorizing maybe like a Three Stooges or some kind of, you know. But at the beginning, people were losing their shit. They're like, it steals all the funny out of the Three Stooges. What are you doing? You know, like, people, it's not even, you wouldn't wear a green hat. That's not green. You know, like, everybody's like, it's outside the lines. It's terrible. It's rude. Yeah, there was a lot of complaints about that. Film historians
like
were
the 80s?
shaking. If they do this to movies, what will be next? Society is gone. You know, but yeah, so I wonder if there'll be a time where it gets so PC that we unwhite all the old films. So then they redo all the old films and they're all black actors. You know, Birth of a Nation is black actors with them in whiteface chasing after a black woman. It's just complete. Man, who knows, man? Stranger futures could be afoot.
Yeah, I believe anything now, man.
Totally. Oh, man. So, just to finish on this thought, then, any thoughts on, like, do you think anything will change in the world with this whole election, no matter who wins or what? I mean, like, for you personally in your life, boom, in the house, like, is anything going to change? Are you going to have to move? Is there going to be, you know, you think any violence will be going down? Anything like that?
I think violence will be going. I mean, yeah, I don't think violence will
Because
come
it's
to my
already
doorstep.
there, kind of, you know, right? It's like, you know,
Right,
one
I mean,
dude
there's
did this, and then two guys got shot by that.
Yeah, that's already happening.
Yeah.
And I don't think, especially where I'm living in Los Angeles, I don't, you know, unless I go like seek out a protest, I don't think that, at least the way I see it now, I hope that it's not going to be just, you know, everyone shooting each other on the streets immediately. Like, I don't think that that's going to happen.
No, I did not envision one that dark. I'm hoping.
No,
please,
I don't. But I do think
no amount of meditation has prepared me for that scenario.
You know, I think I'm going to be able to go to the grocery store in December without wearing a flak jacket.
Jeez. Yeah, and the only way they'll tell apart is who's wearing a mask and who ain't wearing a mask.
Right. Yeah, that's.
And if you're trying to.
That's the new.
Yeah. It's the people
We'll
with it on the chin they don't
uniforms.
know
We'll be
about.
wearing masks.
Yeah. And then we'll have different factions inside our mask community where some will just not do the
right.
nose and the other one will do the mouth.
And then, right. Are you an N95 or?
Yeah.
No.
Exactly.
I'm a double handkerchief.
Oh, this is bad. I don't want this future.
Right. No, I mean.
Oh no.
I don't know. I mean, it all depends on how it's all on him, really. If he loses, which he presumably will, but I can't even presume that because I thought he was going to lose last time. If he loses and it's close and it goes, I don't know. It's just, it's going to be rough. It's not going to, that's the thing. It's like November 4th is a date circled on the calendar, but hell, the next 2 months after that are just going to be as bad as the 2 months that led up to it.
Right.
There's going to be, you know, he's going to go out kicking and screaming and suing and stacking the Supreme Court. And
but do you think it will make a difference in your housewife, where you go to work, how you get to work kind of life, how you make money?
No, not unless I allow it to.
So this violence thing?
If I let the stress like get to me and just get depressed and, you know, drink too much or do something stupid, then that's how it will affect me immediately. But I don't think it's going to, you know,
Right.
change things that drastically unless we allow it to.
Do you think, here's a scenario, see true or false. Do you think it's possible that a whole out militia will form up, figure out sometime, and then basically flash mob an area and battle and like just do a whole bunch of damage and then sort of try and drift off into the world like revolutionaries?
Totally possible.
Or Native Americans
Totally.
against
I mean,
the British.
They've been already kind of doing it, and
like a full out one. So I'm talking, if it's gonna be full out, there's got to be like goddamn 100 people gone, over 100, just like tactically, corralled somehow or whatever.
I'm sure there is a militia capable of doing that already formed. I remember seeing stuff on militias on 60 Minutes.
Yeah. Yes.
Like 15 years ago, and just being like, who are these people?
Right.
And those people are all still here, and this is what they've been training for every weekend for the last three decades. Like, this is their big chance to justify why they've been playing army.
Right. And it's all fucking about distraction.
Yeah. Well, everything Trump does is about distraction.
It's all about distraction, but it's in all quarters. Everybody knows the distraction game works. And it works too good for our own good. And it's all distractions, man. It's all going to be a major distraction. If they do that, geez. But the underside, another underbelly of war is that all this distraction, we'll just say that the major distractions gives other people who have evil intent and psychopaths and whatever to kind of activate a little bit more. So now there's more fucking pedophilia out there. There's more fucking murders. There's more robbery. There's more reasons to lie and deceive and cheat, and there's more because it seems to be working. Subconsciously, it's working for the most powerful man on the planet, and it has worked till he's an old man up there who's completely bald, but through $70,000 worth of magicianship has made this amazing hair thing.
It's a thing. It's not hair.
But that's a subconscious, that's part of the propaganda. It's sort of the thing that soaks into, even if you don't want to believe and you want, the only way you can get truly to those thoughts is honestly through meditation and fucking find that shit in there and go, whoa, 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 whoa. Do not listen to this voice.
Yeah.
Because it's an excuse, and boy, it's scary. So the best thing to do is like keep friends close. Like really this is the time right now to really, really, really be in touch. So with what we're doing right now, you should be doing this with mom, dad, bro, sis. Everybody should be, and then talk about life and talk about whatever. And then that way you get your network, you get more help. Tell them you're meditating, maybe spread the word. Somebody else might be able to. And then one of the greatest things to do as a human being is to help other people in some way. And that comes in so many different flavors. It comes down to just helping out a little kitty cat. Helps out to, thinking about grandma that needs some food once a week, whatever it is. Or then it goes into strangers and people you don't know in your neighborhood or wherever.
No, I've been doing that more during the last 6 months than I've always tried to, do that to a lot of, because LA is just full of so many people who need help.
Right.
So I've tried to do that in the 10 years I lived here, but in the last 6 months, I've definitely made a more of a concerted effort to do it.
Yeah.
And could do more too.
Absolutely, man. There's so much more to do. But then sometimes it feels like there's nothing to do. It's the great, or I don't want to, or it's too overwhelming, or there's too many things. And that's where it's all coming from, hearing all the different voices, and you got to clear it, focus, and then every day shine it make sure it's a nice beacon in your head that you can be guided by. And so that takes 5 minutes of a heavy dose of discipline. Bam!
Vitamin D.
Whatever it is, God dang it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe get good at it. You take it where you can find it any time of the day. That's the beauty of having your phone. You can meditate fucking anywhere, you know. Just do it. Right?
Yeah, I need to.
But I think we all need to. I guess this is just universal advice. Even for people in Egypt, if they can translate this, do those things I said. No matter where you are in the planet, if you're a human being, right? Jeez. Dang. All right, so I know we didn't have much time to talk about our story together, like specifically the canoe trip. Remember that canoe trip? Oh, dude. Oh, man.
Yeah, I saw, who did I see? I think I saw the Acostas the other day and they brought it up. And there's several people who anytime I see them, that's the first thing they bring up.
All right, what's the story that you know or coming at you? What is just give me a little bit of the scenario of whatever you see as part of the highlights.
I was new to the comedy scene and you guys were all so nice, made me feel welcomed and invited me on a canoe trip.
Right.
It was either like Northwest Illinois or Southwest Wisconsin. Somewhere.
River.
Where was it?
Wisconsin River. I put the whole thing together. So yeah, that was the river.
Okay, so it was the Wisconsin River, and we drove up there.
3 hours away.
3 hours away. Who all was there? I know it was Nick Vatterott and I were in a canoe together. I remember that.
Right.
I know Steve-O, Cheney.
Josh Cheney.
Yep. Was Eric and Kathleen there?
Might have been.
I think they both were there.
Okay.
Yourself.
Right. Was Becky Garcia there?
I don't think so, but maybe.
Do you remember a highlight of the trip specifically?
Well, we took mushrooms. I remember that.
Right.
And then so I got to, I barely knew Vatterott at the time. So that was still one of the greatest experiences of my life was floating in a canoe down a river on mushrooms with Nick Vatterott. Like that's, everyone should do that in their life if they get the opportunity.
Oh my God.
I can remember we like stopped on a sandbar.
Yeah.
And hung out for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
I can very well specifically remember that because I can remember like being on mushrooms, looking at the sand and being like, oh, I get why they make glass out of this. Like, oh, I see the glass in the sand, man. So then we finished the canoe trip and then someone broke out pot brownies.
Right. Not me.
And I had never ever in my entire life had a pot brownie.
Yeah, that was not my doing.
And I ate 2 pot brownies.
Oh my God, dude.
I was like, these are good.
No wonder.
And then we got back in the vans and we drove to like a Denny's or something.
We drive an hour back and there's it was Dave's Famous Barbecue.
Okay.
Like that. We got like a trash barrel lid of ribs and all that. Was that the one? Oh no! Wait a minute. You're right. It was a Denny's. We stopped it because people were hungry, and maybe that was like 30 minutes away. Like let's eat. Like all right, go.
And as soon as we sat down at that table at Denny's, the pot brownies kicked in. Just like.
And we're all there's like 10 of us around this table. We're all making jokes or whatever, or we're at our tables, right? And people are joking.
I think we're all at one big table, yeah.
And then I remember noticing you came into my mind really starkly when either you had to go to the bathroom, and I think that you were in there a bit, and they're like, go check on him. And I went.
Yeah, I think I like went and sat down on the toilet, and then just like, I might have even like fallen, like passed out or like gone into like a weed coma. I don't know. Like, and I can remember like someone like, I think it might've been you, like coming into the bathroom and being like, "Hey buddy, you okay in there?"
Yeah.
And just being like, where am I?
Oh my God, dude. I remember seeing your face, and I do remember, dude, you were so Caspered. You were like, oh my God, I've never, how could it get, I guess that's pretty white right there.
I can remember you guys commenting on how white I looked.
You were like so white. I was thinking in my mind, maybe, I wonder if I should flip him upside down and see if the blood will get back to it, because he's not going to function on no blood.
I think you guys had to like peel me up off the bathroom floor and like,
yeah,
it was bad.
You were high. Well, I thought it must be something more than just weed. I thought you only took a toke. I didn't realize you had eaten
it was 2 pot brownies.
Oh my God, and you had 2 of them.
My first, it was my first experience. I didn't know that.
Because you never know how strong they are. That's the thing about edibles. I mean, like someone gives you.
And it might have been a situation because we hung out in that parking lot by the river for a little while afterwards.
Yeah.
So it might have been a situation where like I had one. Waited like 20 minutes, and I was like, let me get another one of those. These aren't doing anything.
Brownie, yeah, they sprinkled it on. Yeah, maybe.
God, yeah, that. I don't know if I learned my lesson for sure. I'm very rarely eat marijuana now for that reason.
Yeah, there was a part of me being the whole leader. I don't want anybody to die on, you know what I mean? I've yet to, of all the canoe trips we've done over 12, 13 years with many, many people, never had to go to the hospital. And I was about ready to ring the bell. I was like, if he gets one more shade whiter, we're getting out of here. To the hospital.
We're dropping him off.
Yeah, where's the hospital, ma'am? Check, please.
So funny.
Oh shit, man! Yeah, you were sitting in the back, and then everybody was kind of watching you the whole trip back. Keep him hydrated, give him something to drink. There you go. Talk him, tell him nice things. Everything's fine.
Petting my hair.
Yeah, don't give him any clue of what you're actually thinking when you're looking at his face, or he'll go into a death spiral.
It's hilarious. I mean, I saw the Acostas a couple months ago, and it was the first thing they brought up.
Yeah. It was worrying. You had a little bit of worry. I was kind of worried. It was
an experience.
But yeah, I thought, because like I remember asking, how old is he? He's like, young. All right, okay, good. You should be able to make this. He's 40. Oh shit, we better go to the hospital.
Oh my God, take his pulse.
Jesus Christ.
Does he have any heart medication?
Oh my God.
Oh, that's great. I want to, whenever I was thinking about this prior to coming on here, anytime I parallel park, you know where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
And Bridenstine's the same way. Anytime I think of parallel parking, you are the first person I think of. We
were in a van, right?
Or a car? I don't know. I think we were in your car.
Okay.
We were going, I think we were leaving, I want to say like Piano Man.
Okay.
After the open mic.
Okay.
Going back to Josh's place to play cards.
Okay.
And it was me, you, and Bridenstine. You were driving us over there.
Yep.
And that neighborhood they lived in was notorious for just no parking. No,
right.
Like there were nights I went over there to play cards, couldn't find parking, and just went home.
Oh no.
And so we were with you, and you were circling around, looking for parking spots. Finally, this parking spot opens up. Right. I mean, and it's the tiniest parking spot possible. And we're like, nah, Darren, no, you can't do that, man. And you were like, no, watch this. And you pulled off the quickest 3-point turn into the smallest parking spot I have ever, like, and Brian and I were just like, jaws dropped.
Well, I do remember it wasn't as easy as that. This was a tight motherfucking spot. This was one of those ones where you'd take a picture of the front bumper and the back bumper almost and go, oh, no way. It did require all that that hard turn, front, back.
Okay, so it was a 30-point turn, not a 3-point turn.
It was like, That's how tight that space was.
You pulled it off, though, man.
So glad I got a sense of that.
We still talk about it.
You know, I have such a good sense of that. It's because I'm 6'6", and I'm always, whenever anybody's around my height or whatever, I can size somebody up, even if they're sitting down and stuff like that. I'm pretty good at it, so I just stretch it onto the street a little bit.
Yeah,
and see
interesting.
So
my wife's 5 foot tall, and she's terrible. Like parallel parking scares her. Like she just hates it.
Right.
And I'm like every time I'm like, you just need an afternoon with Darren Bodecker.
Right.
Just drive around the neighborhood.
No, what my training would be is I would take her into my camp. It's going to take a couple of weeks, but we're going to start her off with her balance and everything, and then I'm going to put some stilts on her, and I'm going to have her just walking around at 6'6" every day, no matter what. Learn how to sit, learn to stand, whatever you need to do. You're always going to be 6'6".
It's an immersive,
and then we're going to start.
Program.
Then we start driving. Yeah. That's awesome, dude. I'm so glad that you're married, dude.
Yeah.
That's a good.
Thank you.
It's
good. It's 3 years and 2 weeks.
Oh yeah.
October 14th will be our 3-year anniversary.
So what is the thing that caught your eye with her? What was the first essence? They go, hello, Mr. Sunshine. Where are you?
I was physically, she's really cute. I met her after a comedy show 10 years ago in LA.
Okay. Audience member she was?
She was the roommate of one of my coworkers' girlfriends.
Okay.
So I worked with this guy.
Okay.
He came to the show. He brought his girlfriend. His girlfriend brought her roommate, who is now my wife.
So you got introduced.
Yeah, we met.
And then
it was like actually the first good set I had in LA. Like first 5 sets in LA were frustrating.
Oh my God!
The first time
if you would have bombed, maybe you would not be married right now.
Right.
Possible.
So I had a good set, and then met her after the show, and it was raining.
Oh.
And said hi, introduced her. I thought she was cute, and then we left, and we were
said
driving
that right away.
And
You said that right away, that she was cute that first night?
No, I thought that to myself.
Oh, okay. All right, I was just saying you're a little bit more bold than I am.
No. It took 6 years. No, it took 2 years before I started dating her.
Oh, way. Oh, that's so funny. My wife is 5'2", and it took me a full year that I even first noticed her.
Really?
Yeah, and I was working with her.
And I was like, Bridenstine kind of nudged me into it a lot. He knew I kind of had a crush on her, and but I was lacking confidence to do anything about it. So
Bridenstine's the true wingman right
played
there.
Matchmaker.
That's the real wingman right there.
But so that night that we met, Bridenstine and I left to drive home, and I got a flat tire, like 2 blocks away from the theater.
Oh no.
And then we went to change my tire, and my spare tire was flat.
Oh shit.
So they happened to walk by while this was all happening, her and her roommate and her roommate's boyfriend. And so they gave us a ride back to, I pushed my car onto a street and left it there.
Oh, okay.
And then they gave us a ride back home, and she sat on my lap on the ride home. So that was it.
That was it.
It was meant to be.
Yeah.
It was it.
Right.
I don't know. Man. I just had a feeling, kind of. And
right. That fits totally in with your, your sexual Santa Claus kid on lap fantasy.
Right.
just like this, too perfect. Enough of those thoughts. I'm gonna be legit. Never thought of Santa Claus sits.
Yeah, I moved on.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, she's great.
What is she like about you? Is it you're funny, you think, or is it what is it that she's really into you?
Yeah, my funny for sure.
Yeah, so you got to keep exercising that muscle. You cannot let this fucking depression
I
get on us.
Make her laugh.
Yeah,
totally.
It's hard to laugh through this, but if you can, truly, it's a good laugh.
Yeah, no, that's the strongest part of our relationship.
Yes,
we make each other laugh too.
Right. That's perfect. That's perfect. Because that's
Very
what I
silly.
found out in all my life is that, especially us being comedy minded or needing that comedy, if you're going out with a girl who doesn't get your jokes,
like Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's yeah. I mean, she doesn't get your personality.
You know
For
what
the
the
most
thing,
part.
just to say on that real quick, the thing that Steve O'Harvey and Andrea Harvey had is that Steve was so malleable in the way that he could make jokes. He made her like she was the fun time for him. And she rarely laughed at any other things. Like she would go I've seen her at comic club shows and not laugh at one person and all that stuff. But he was able to tap into that humor that was very faint in her, and he was able to light it up. And that was the beauty between Steve and Andrea, because he could make Andrea. Because if I would have went out with Andrea, she would not be laughing at me, so I would not have married her. But Steve got that, and he was able to do it. He's a magician like that.
Yeah.
He can make anybody laugh. You just got to get to know him. You know? That was the beauty thing about him.
Yeah.
And you got that. You're a very lucky man.
Yeah.
Right for you.
Definitely.
Oh, I like it. Well, then you got a good foundation, and then let's do the thing. Let's do the Sam Harris thing just for fun. It'll be a sign from the gods if we get it free, and if it's free, we might as well use it as if we're paying.
Sure. How much is it if you have to pay for it?
It's like, I don't know, $15 a month or something.
Yeah.
I mean, that's enough.
It's enough to
Yeah, every month. We do need money right now, so this is kind of a life hack way to life hack into what we want.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, send me the link, or I'll look it up soon.
I will. I'll send it right after this. I think it's just on the web. But all right, so we're on time. I like where we ended it. You think this is okay?
That's cool with me. Yeah.
I know, it's being a comedian, you know how you want to, like, wait, we should go up on a real high. Let me talk about Skynet again. You know, some shit like that.
Call back to Skynet.
Yeah, I got to end on something. But I like ending on the light, you know, the light at the end of the tunnel, or at least the way to go, or something positive and happy, and to know that you're married and you have a foundation, you both are laughing. That means everything's possible for you to weather all this storm, this mental, emotional storm.
For sure.
And
sure. Like,
yeah.
This past year, the last few years have been really hard, and to have her there has just been, it's amazing. I can't imagine.
Maybe we'll work something out. I would like to have you on the show again in
I'd love to.
month or two, and then maybe here's the challenge. We'll make this a little more. When the 2 months comes up, we talk about
revisit this.
Yeah, we try to have meditated more than half those times.
Okay,
reasonable.
That's great.
Not everyone.
No, that's awesome. Yeah,
more than half.
We discuss how it.
And then
it's affected us.
And then with whatever you came up with, and then here's the also thing to the sub rules. If something cool comes up, or a thought, or a thing, feel free. You can cold call me. You can text me. It's just that. I'm not saying I'll cold call you all the time like a stalker, but I'm just saying it's in the cards. In other words, some really weird's happened. What do you think? Anything like that, whatever it is, cool. Just for fun. Or you make an excuse and do a real short catch up one of these, and I could put it out in 10 minutes or whatever. Okay.
Yeah. Sounds great, dude.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
Because so much wild stuff's gonna happen. So why not let us be the one who's forcing the change instead of the change forcing us?
Brilliant.
Right. All right, man.
Yep.
I'm very
happy.
Darren,
this is
Thank you.
Good, man.
No, man.
Thanks so much for having me, man.
I'm gonna start meditating now. Whee!
All right. I'll
cool,
meditate
dude.
too, man.
Thanks for the help.
All right, I'm excited, dude.
I appreciate
Thanks, Darren.
it. All right, Mike.
Great to see your face.
Great to see your face.
Take care, bud.
Bye. All right.
Bye, buddy.
Bye. Yeah, how do we end these things?
I think there's a button that says leave.
Oh, right. Yeah.
All right. Later, man.
Yeah, man. Thank you. There it is. There it was. The end. As far as wisdom goes on that last show, you get your money's worth on that one. Because that's all shit I was just projecting most of the time. But why not? I need to get going on this stuff. Anyways, this is Searching for Wisdom Within the Madness. I got some wisdom to contemplate. Like I said most all of it, but I ain't doing it. So I'm gonna, Sam Harris. That's the way he pays for his site. But if you can't afford it, it's a paid thing that's free. That means there's quality. Is that how that works? Is that true in every case? I don't know. Anyways, my email is sfwwmadness@gmail.com. So full word of madness. And if you want to talk about anything, if you want to join on board and do this thing, Sam Harris, and meditate, and then we can do a bigger Zoom, have a bunch of dudes saying, all right, is it worth it? Is there anything about it? Was this all bullshit? Oh man, my house is on fire, gotta go. Anyhow, love you, love the things you do. I'm so happy, dude. Oh man, with that guy and his wife, and I mean, like, I don't truly know. He could be a torturer and a, psychopath, and just saying that as she's crying as she's tied up, watching him have to do the show in the corner. I mean, that could happen. You know what I mean? I could be fooled. You could be a good actor, but I choose not to believe that. Sorry, man. Just having fun. It's Mike Holmes. I'm just happy. I'm happy to do this thing. I'm looking forward to it. This is why I'm doing this stuff. This is why. Hope you like it. Tip me if you. Is that correct? Tip me if you. I don't know how money works. You know how money works? Like, you get it and it goes. It just goes. I don't know. But that's what I'm thinking. Like, I don't want to do any advertisements or have I'm gonna put secret stuff out there and you pay money and you see my secret vault videos.